Maybe this has to be a dedication to George Wendt.
George Wendt.
Yeah,
wow.
Norm.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
you're wearing the Norm. You're wearing the Norm jacket.
Gosh,
Two stage hands and a microphone. I'm Sean Finnegan. This is my buddy
Disco Brillin.
Disco Brillin.
And we are here back once again, bringing you Stagehand Talk, your DMX cable access channel.
I'd like to say that's probably your most straightforward suit that you've ever worn on the show, sir.
I thank you. I'm trying to class things up.
Yeah, it's like a, like I said, kind of a Sinatra, Tony Bennett look.
Sinatra, yes. Mr. Blue Eyes himself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I do like Frank Sinatra.
You know what I like is those, I wish you could get those.
Oh, these Doc Martens right here?
Dude,
these blue ones?
Light
oh my
blue
God.
Docs.
Dude,
I didn't even know they made, that's like a royal blue.
Yeah. Aren't these
really
badass?
cool.
I
Awesome.
found these at like Value Village or something.
I have
like
a pair of Doc Martens. They were called the Grizzlies, and I bought them in '95, and I still have them. It's the only Doc Martens I've ever bought.
This is my first pair of Doc Martens.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow. You grew up in Portland.
I grew up in
Your
Portland.
first pair of Doc Martens, my God.
I have Danners, and those are badass,
those
right?
Are badass,
like,
but Doc Martens,
Dark Martens are kind of iconic.
Martens.
Dark Martens.
I like that.
I am the Dark Martens.
Dark Martens.
You know, it's
I never comment. I'm wearing tour shirts from our job, and I never say anything about them. Mm-hmm. I always make sure and have one, but this one is from 21 Pilots, even though the font is very small, and the reason it's sleeveless is because it shrunk up on me, so it became a sleep shirt.
I love the fact that it has LX on it, which means lighting for you at home. Like, there's a bunch of different acronyms.
Lighting.
LX is lighting. Yeah, right? Check it out. I've got Jimi Hendrix.
You got the Jimi Hendrix mug. I've got my two little nieces who are now in college. What's your dad's name?
John Michael Fuller.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to John Michael Fuller.
I believe your dad's a fisherman, right?
Yes, he is. Cool. Absolutely. Lots of different.
So did he fish the McKenzie?
Lots of times, absolutely.
And you went fishing a couple times with him, you told me.
Yeah, but the thing is that
just never got hooked.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I want to say that I wasn't I wasn't naughty enough for fishing at the time, right? I just didn't have my knots down.
Oh.
And I really think that tying your own hooks on the thing.
Oh, you have to.
Right. And it's just like, I know it now, but it's just like getting that repetition, and with the arthritis in my hands, it's really hard to do that.
I love knots, though. It's funny.
Yeah,
I love tying knots. I sometimes I'll get on a YouTube wormhole.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to our workers. I was working the Alejandro Fernandez show, which is like a Spanish performer.
Pop music or
more like
Spanish music,
Hispanic music, right?
Okay.
Like very, but I mean, it filled the arena, that kind of stuff.
Isn't that amazing? Some of the people we've never heard of, and they fill 16,000 seats.
I worked a show. J Balvin, who we worked
Haven't
there.
Heard of him.
Yeah, he is a Colombia reggaeton artist.
Oh right,
absolutely filled the Moda Center, sold out show.
Wow,
right? Not Theater of the Clouds.
Those are kind of some of my favorite crowds, is the Latin crowds.
But this Alejandro Fernandez show, I was working on the lights team. And the crew worker was telling us to, they have these things where you have to, undo the bolts to get these things apart, because we were taking off Schedule 40 from the sides, these outriggers on the light boards. And he was expecting none of us to have wrenches on us. So he's like, anyone with the wrenches, go ahead and loosen these things, and people without wrenches could take it off. Every single one of the 14 people out there had a wrench on them. There was not fantastic. One of us on the floor in that lighting crew that didn't have a crescent wrench on it.
Right.
He was shocked out of his mind. He said there was a show he did, 28 people, not a single one of them had a wrench.
Wow. And I'll tell you one thing, I love the people we work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of times on the traveling cruise, I really like the crew members. Oh. And, I love live music. Yeah, like I told you, I finished up a second book. I'll get into more of that later. Mm-hmm. But it was
I really enjoyed your first one. That was phenomenal. You. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Like I said, it just blew my mind. I really, when we started this, didn't expect you to actually read it. And then when you did, and you came to me one day, and it was just this genuine surprise in the material. You're like, I thought it was kind of going to be here, but it really had all these layers of sensitivity, and the way you paid attention to that. I mean, in the modern age, for someone to give you 8 hours of their time paying attention to your art, Thank you, brother. I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
that. Really
my pleasure.
Cool. Really cool.
I really enjoyed the fact that you did the audiobook too. Like I think
was fun.
that was a unique way to get to the material. That I mean, a lot of times when I read a book, I read it in my own voice and with my own spacing. But it's really good to see, your intent,
Right?
With, like the language structure
And having to shift characters or have characters talk to each other, but I didn't want to divert so far into different voices that it just felt disingenuous. You know what I mean? To just give a little inflection. So it was.
I might be biased from this is our 10th podcast now,
Wow.
but I have to say that
wow, dude.
Yeah.
You asked me for a year. You asked me 3 times in a year to do this podcast with you. And then I was so kind of, self-involved with my own creative projects outside of work. Mm-hmm. And then the 4th time you asked me, I remember it was just a day, and I remember what flashed through me was, because I didn't know you that well then.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We kind of went into
we'd
this
worked
blind.
together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we worked together.
I called you the scene because,
Right.
I needed something to remember Sean with, right? Yeah, exactly.
Totally. But one thing I must say is, even before I knew you, as I've gotten to know you in the podcast, one thing I always appreciate about your work is you're a solid worker, bro.
Yeah,
You
I try
know,
to
some
be
people
anyway.
aren't. Some
No.
people, you can't really, you're pushing up that huge, heavy stage. Some people are kind of like, you got this, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you always were on Johnny on the spot, and I always noticed that in people. So, but it really was the 4th time you asked me. I remember it was just the mood I was in. I was like, I admire Homeboy's persistence. Of course we're doing this. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of figured we could do it at my pad.
Yeah.
We had all the gear. And
Yeah.
it's turned into something I really look forward to. This morning, I was kind of having a blah day. Like I told you, I was very tired today.
Yeah.
It was kind of almost like I didn't eat most of the day, and I was like hypoglycemic, and I was like, dude, I feel terrible. I think I'm going to bed at like 6 o'clock, and then I was like, oh, we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
So I was really...
There's a certain energy to this
I'm
thing.
telling you, man, I was looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really cool. Now, let me ask, this is a weird question I thought I'd ask you this time.
Okay.
Do you listen to other podcasts?
I do.
Well, what do you listen to?
My favorite is Philosophize This, going through different philosophy work.
Oh, yeah, you really love philosophers.
I love the ability to... It's the macro understanding and like taking apart reality and parsing what matters to us and finding our value by,
Did you take philosophy in college?
No, not at all.
I took critical thinking.
I took one course.
Which had elements of it, but not really full on.
Yeah, no, it was, it's really, once I got into therapy and, like, discovering about mental health, that's when I realized that philosophy and how you think affects so much of how your daily life
And it
is.
helps your emotional state.
Right, I mean, like Victor Frankl, like we said a couple
We
episodes
love
ago.
Victor
Frankl, one of
I
our
read
heroes.
the book before, but I'm very slowly getting through the book. And then you brought me another philosophy book today.
Oh, yeah, Foucault. Michel Foucault, Madness and Civilization, which
Foucault kind of sounds like a cool, like almost like we could be working a Foucault show at the Moda Center.
I would love to work a Foucault show. Sadly, I think he died like 20 years ago.
I really like Marcus Aurelius.
Oh yes,
That's
absolutely.
one of my favorite philosophers. There's a really blunt simplicity to his thinking that affected me. Sometimes I need things simple. Not saying I'm dumb. I just like the clarity of simplicity. And it was basically the overall philosophy is like, forget about all the stuff and all the people in life. Worry about who likes you, who doesn't like you, who's mad at you, who's not. Find your purpose and work in life and just focus on that. And that really helped me in life. It helped me kind of stop caring when you're surprised, maybe you've been nice to someone, you can't believe they hate your guts or trashing you, and you're just like, oh my God, my feelings are so hurt. It helped me just kind of go, oh well, that's their problem. And I never used to do that when I was younger. It'd really stick with me. And how could someone say that about me? Now I don't give a shit.
It's hard to get distance from that.
Right, I get much quicker to like, doesn't matter. I'm on point. I'm writing books. I'm making podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm spending time with my family.
Yeah.
These are my friends.
These are my values.
Right, I'm doing my
I'm
annual
doing.
fishing trips with my best friends. Like, that's what's important to me, and it really kind of helped the other stuff settle down. So, Philosophize This is a podcast you'll do. Is that the only one you listen to?
No, I really like a bunch of NPR ones too.
Fresh Air. I listen to Fresh Air.
Yeah, I would also say what is it? Wait, don't tell me.
Oh, I've heard of that
the
one.
NPR
Right.
news
Like
quiz.
it's like a quiz show, right?
Right, but it's all based off of current events.
Right.
And so it's
yeah, I've heard
very
little
much
ads for it in between fresh air.
Some More News, which is kind of an alternative news podcast.
Yeah.
Which kind of, does a talking head thing and does like, an hour-long episode into like some sort of thing every week. Legal Eagle is another one I really like, which goes into just like United States law and will go on to like this aspect of
That'd
the
be a
law.
good thing to know at this time in history.
Right, yeah. I mean, lately it's very depressing because of all
Sure.
the different political events, but it's really good to know like the language of law, I think. And so a lot of the podcasts I listen to are for the language that they use and like how they talk to each other or just generally in content. I'm really big on like MIT or Yale or Harvard has a bunch of courses online that you can do.
A lot of the podcasts I listen to one called Let There Be Talk by this comedian Dean Del Rey. Okay. And I really like him. He's a couple years older than me, but he's from like 2 years older than me. He's from the Bay Area, and he does solo podcasts, I think, when he can't get a good guest. But he has the most amazing guests if you like rock and roll music on his show. I mean, I could list the guests, but they're just incredible. And he's not a real star fucker. Yeah. And I think the guest says that, and he doesn't dig into them for like gossipy crap about their lives.
I mean, that's nice.
He wants to talk about their music. And you can hear it. I mean, a lot of them. I listen to Mark Maron's podcast, W2TF. I really enjoy that. But I just thought, we're doing a podcast. Why don't we give a little shout out to other podcasts that kind of got us excited about doing a podcast? I'm trying to think of it. Oh, no one I like recently I've listened to is Where Everyone Knows Your Name with Ted Danson and Woody Harrelson from Cheers. That's beautiful. And they just had George Wendt on the show who played Norm, and he just passed away. Here's the Norm. Horrible. Yeah, who didn't love Norm? Norm was he one of the most loved characters ever in TV, I think? Remember he'd walk in from the cold, he'd hang up his coat, he'd walk, and they'd already be pouring his beer. And they'd always ask him a question. One time they go, hey, and he was overweight, hey, Norm, what's shaking? And he's all four cheeks.
That's amazing.
That's a Normism.
You know what? I think I have something. Sean Finnegan.
Come on, Disco, sing that song.
2 stagehands and a microphone.
2 stagehands and a microphone.
Brand new costume.
Making the way in the world today. It takes everything you've got.
I've got this.
Oh, with the elbow patches?
The elbow patches? Check this out. Yeah.
Bro, that's full
little
Norm.
Jacket,
you think you could put on like about 80 pounds in the next half hour?
Not in the next half hour, but give me like 3 months. And
I wish I had a beer I could slide to you.
Well, everybody knows your name.
I always think one of the coolest videos I ever saw that really nailed, it was so strange because there was so much dialogue overlap the song is Metallica 1.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that.
Oh, bro, that's one of the best videos ever made. It's all old videos. The song 1 is based on a movie called Johnny Got His Gun, all about World War One. Okay. And they incorporate all this old footage, and it's like, I just think it's a masterful. I'm a big Metallica fan, as you know, but it's just a masterful video. My first video I ever saw, my uncle was a screenwriter for 80s television.
Oh, that's cool. What shows did he work on?
First show he did was Benson. Did you ever see Benson?
Yeah, I know of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. He did.
I have seen it.
He did Benson. He did a show with Carol O'Connor called In the Heat of the Night. Which was based on the movie. Rod Steiger played the role with Sidney Poitier in the movie, and then they later on made a series about it. Yeah. His big show, I think he was story editor on, was called Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Okay, I don't know if I saw
with
that one.
With Kate Jackson from Charlie's Angels.
No.
And then his last show he did with his coolest was Night Court.
Oh, Night Court was amazing.
Dude, Night Court was a great show.
Harry, what's his name? Anderson. Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson. He was a magician.
Yeah, he was phenomenal on that.
There was Bull. There was little Selma, the little old lady with the cigarette.
Bull was phenomenal.
And then like the smartest guy was like, he wasn't the bailiff, but remember the black guy who always had a cardigan sweater on?
Michael something or other with the sound effects.
I always like when the smartest character on the show isn't necessarily the main character.
No,
right?
That's phenomenal.
He was really cool, but yeah, so we didn't have any money growing up, and my uncle didn't, and then 1 year he had money for being a screenwriter.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he had HBO, which it was called Home Box Office.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then there was another one called
Back when that meant something.
Back when that meant something. And then he also had this thing called the Z Channel, which was big in LA. And you had to have a separate box for that cable, right? And then he had this new thing, which the reason I'm thinking about this, you could only get MTV when it first came out by wiggling the dial.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's really weird. But he had it. And I remember the first music video I ever saw was In Excess off their first album, Shabu Shaba. And I don't remember, Don't Change, it was called. Don't change for you.
Yeah.
Don't change a thing for me. It was
I do like it.
It was a simple video, but it was pretty cool.
Do you ever see?
And how about, remember the Sledgehammer video for?
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel. That was all claymation. That was creative. It was too much.
Do you ever see Land of Confusion? Genesis's?
Oh yeah, with the Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. The puppet
that
things.
was a great one too, man.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Also, I loved Art of Noises Close to the Edit.
Oh yeah, here's a great one. Another claymation, a dark claymation, is Tool Sober.
I don't know if I saw
Oh,
that
dude. You got to watch that. Maybe we should link some of these in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Marilyn Manson came out with some pretty amazing.
Okay, cool Marilyn Manson story.
Oh, yeah?
So, I go to Ozfest in 2000.
2000.
Marilyn Manson gave me the creeps when he came out. He just creeped me out. It was too much.
Yeah.
Didn't care to know anything about him because I just.
Antichrist Superstar is such a great album.
Oh, there's a lot of his stuff is great, but at the time I didn't know that because I was creeped out by him.
Yeah.
So I go to Ozfest and I'm like 31 with my buddy who's like 33.
Yeah.
It was the first time ever at a show where we were the old men at the show.
Wow.
It was a weird
33-year-old man.
Yeah, but it was weird.
Yeah.
Everyone was like 18 to 22.
Oh, I know. I was at a club this weekend.
So I'm sitting there, and we were kind of commenting how there's tons of bands on the Ozfests.
Yeah.
We didn't know any of the bands. So we kind of arrived a little later because we didn't have to see a lot of these bands, we figured. We're sitting there, and we see this obvious rock star guy. We're kind of like, there was no backstage, but just behind the amphitheater.
Yeah.
We were having some food. We see this obvious rock star guy. Back before someone was just covered in tats, this guy was covered in tats. I've never seen a more tatted individual.
Oh, yeah, he's got the eyeball thing.
Oh, the whole thing up the neck and everything. And these girls just mob this guy. And my buddy Gooch goes, dude, see, we're so out of it.
I recognize that name.
He's in a couple books. You know why? Because it's such a great name.
It's a great name. Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for a character.
Shout out to Gooch.
Shout out to the Gooch. You are a character, Gooch.
You are the character.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Your mom, yeah.
Here's the thing. He goes, see, I don't even know who that rock star guy is. And these girls are just flocking him.
Yeah.
Pre-cell phone, so they're getting autograph books and stuff. And all of a sudden, the guy standing next to the rock star guy is a buddy of mine from LA. And I just go, Garth! And he looks over and he's all, Finnegan!
Yeah.
And I go running over and we go, hey, get a hug. And he just, all of a sudden, I had this cousin named Hamster. Hamster, rest in peace. Died in 2011. Anyway, God bless you.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all of a sudden, my buddy Garth, I go, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm managing this band. I'm like, who's the band? He's all, they're called Crazytown. Right?
Wow, Crazytown?
Yeah, and I
Damn.
go, and so the guy was this guy. So the tattoo guy was this guy Seth, right? And all of a sudden, my buddy Garth goes, "Hey Seth, this is Hamster's cousin." And the guy's doing autographs, and he turns around. He's obviously on some kind of opiates. And he's just like, "Hamster's my dog, bro."
That's exactly amazing.
And I was like, "Whoa!" So it's just good. Garth's got to take off. And I go, "Good to see you, buddy." And I just pulled this move, and I go, hey, Garth, we've got these lawn tickets. Can you, got any hookups? And he's all, absolutely. Boom, boom. Next thing you know, me and Gooch have fourth row seats.
Damn.
On one condition.
You sit in the back and you don't smoke?
Nope. He goes, you've got to watch Marilyn Manson.
Whoa.
And it was Black Sabbath. The original Black Sabbath members were headlining the show. And that's why I was there. I'm a huge Black Sabbath. So his condition was, I was going to get something to eat during Marilyn Manson. I didn't want to watch him. There's a condition, you got to watch Marilyn Manson. So I'm all right. So the couple bands play and Marilyn Manson's about to come on. I kind of forgot they were coming on. And I got up to go take a leak and Gooch goes, hey man, Garth said we got to watch Marilyn Manson. And that guy proceeded to put on the most incredible show. I hate to say it, but he smoked Black Sabbath's performance.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he turned into, who came out in this gold garb like a Catholic bishop. And then he started to grow. And he got like 30 feet tall. and he was like, something under him had him like leaning out over like the first 2 rows of the crowd.
Amazing.
And when he would sing his songs, there was all these crazy imagery, like rat guts and fascist imagery and volcanoes going off. And when he would sing a certain lyric, it would break up the imagery and just nail the lyric in time with him. And I don't know why that stood out. Also, he had a 12-gauge Mossberg as a mic stand. So the whole time he had a shotgun in his mouth. And it was just so... Now, it was great to see Sabbath. I'd seen the original members about a year before with Pantera opening. I love Pantera, so that was a great show. But I hate to admit it, Marilyn Manson stole the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some energy. Especially back in the day.
He's heavy metal David Bowie.
He is, right.
That's what it is. It's a dope show. Bow, bow, bow. So good, man.
I worked Nick Cave. That was
Nick Cave
incredible.
and the Bad Seeds.
I gotta see
Was it him with the Bad Seeds or just Nick Cave?
No, there were Bad Seeds there. Yeah,
Cool,
there were Bad
cool.
Seed Plus, and we didn't get the T-shirts or anything, but we were wearing Bad.
No T-shirts.
No, I was really.
Let's change that in the industry. Industry people, if you ever have to follow our podcast, we need some T-shirts.
We do need some T-shirts.
Remember when Machine Gun Kelly gave us wristbands?
I thought it was headbands.
Whatever. It's not a T-shirt. I just want to fling that thing right back at him. I don't need anything, dude.
That though,
I hated that.
Right?
That pissed me off. I was like, I want an old school T-shirt, man. I can't even remember the last time I got a good T-shirt.
Kane Brown, I got one for, I think.
I don't think I got a T-shirt.
I got one for Disturbed. Disturbed gave me a T-shirt.
Oh, that's cool. Good to hear.
Yeah, so I got a T-shirt from Disturbed. I was on like T-shirt, so I got a red one. But at my therapist's office, one of the receptionists had tickets to that concert.
Wow.
And so I gave her my T-shirt afterwards.
Oh, man. Must
she
have
had
flipped out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was just neat because we were talking about beforehand, and I said I was working it or something like that. So I was hoping I'd get a T-shirt so I can give it to her afterwards, that kind of stuff. And so it's just neat to be able to give, this freebie from a concert to somebody, right?
Well, I gave one to one of my nieces. What the hell was it? She was so happy. I forget which one it was, but I just gave it. I like some of my favorite shirts I've ever got was Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
They just had a black shirt and it just said Foo Fighters over here in green. It was really cool. There was nothing on the front. It just had it on the sleeve. I thought it was kind of cool.
I also have a Foo Fighters shirt, but I was on the loading crew, so it's black, and it has like...
Oh, that was for the show at Prospect Park?
Yeah, Providence Park. Yeah.
Providence Park.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I worked Foo Fighters in 2017 at the Moda Center. It's weird because I was always a medium grade Foo Fighters fan because I'm more of a loyalist to Nirvana.
Yeah, same.
And it wasn't until I saw them live that I absolutely fell in love with them. A huge Foo Fighters.
I have to say, David Grohl is one of the
coolest,
best.
And he let us watch the whole show.
Yeah.
He didn't care that our hard hats were there. He was like, yeah, watch the whole show.
Yeah, we were on side the whole freaking time. Like for almost an hour because I showed up early because the Providence Park, you never know when you're going to be actually able to get there.
I've never worked a show there because I hate parking my car.
Yeah.
By the way, you got a Jimi Hendrix mug. What are some of your favorite Jimi Hendrix songs?
Along the Watchtower, of course.
So good. It's a remake of a Dylan song, right?
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, Dylan wrote that first, and he had a bigger hit with it.
Of course, Purple Haze is another fantastic song.
That whole album's great. The first Jimi Hendrix Experience.
I love his Star Spangled Banner. Really,
oh, it's killer.
that as well.
There's his last live performance, Jimi Hendrix live in Maui. Mm-hmm. Check that out. It's really good. But I'll tell you what I love about Jimi Hendrix more than anything he did with the Experience. He had one album that he did with his old army buddy because he was in the army and he was a paratrooper and he broke his ankle jumping out of a plane. And they gave him an honorable discharge.
That's awesome.
And it was to all of our benefit. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Jimi Hendrix played with Little Richard? He was in his touring band before he was Jimi Hendrix. I did not realize that. And he also played with the Isley Brothers before he became Jimi Hendrix on his own. But my favorite Jimi Hendrix project is called Band of Gypsies. They have a live album, bro. Dude, just listen to it.
I
think it's the greatest thing Hendrix ever did. The whole album. It's just so damn good, man. And I would say, do you have any guitarists that are some of your favorite, or do you care that much about that kind of
Mark
thing?
Knopfler from Dire Straits is, of course,
always
one of
my
Joe Satriani with Surfing with
I saw
an
Joe
Alien.
Satriani on the Surfing with the Alien tour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Slow Hands is always Eric Clapton, that kind of stuff.
Clapton's great.
The guitar, of early Iron Maiden and that shredding is just, or Van Halen.
I was just going to say, my guy
is
Eddie Van Halen.
Right.
I want to tell you why. Of course, he had this guitar wizardry. Go look at his live eruption solo on YouTube. It'll blow your mind. 13 minutes of mind blowing, right? But here's the thing where I thought, there's a million shredders out there, right? No one put out as many hit songs in addition to being a shredder and an innovator as Eddie Van Halen. The thing it is, other people were doing his tapping method. The guy from Yes did a little bit of that. Steve Howe, I believe his name was. He did a little tapping. But Eddie just took that all to the next level of guitar wizardry. And then there's kids who are probably faster than Eddie. But it wasn't just his speed. He had a soulfulness in his playing that I don't hear in all shredders. And
he also collaborated with people that really accentuated his kind of sound, like with Jump or 1984,
the other guys in Van Halen.
Yeah, or even like working with what's his name, the One Way Ticket to Midnight, Sammy Hagar, doing that kind of stuff. Right. I think that people, or even
Sammy, I think was one of the greatest replacement singers of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now Joe Satriani plays with Sammy.
Yeah, and Van Halen played with Michael Jackson. He was on Beat It. Oh, yeah, that's
right. He does that guitar solo on Beat It.
Yeah, and that
But I mean, if you look at how many hits Eddie wrote, he had such gravitas as this innovative shredder. He invented new guitars. So people loved him as a shredder. I mean, people copied him. I think he took the rock and roll guitar and handed a baton off to a whole generation of people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But there's no one with that level of shredding and that many hits. That's all I'm saying that makes him unique. Eddie had this ability to also scale it all down to a radio song and then turn out like 35 hit songs. I mean, no one did that but him, and that's why I think he's the ultimate. But his hero was Slowhand. And then I remember it was Morning Time in the pandemic. That in 2020, Neil Peart, the greatest drummer in rock and roll, dies. 2020, the greatest guitarist in rock and roll, in my opinion, Eddie Van Halen, dies. And I remember I didn't drink when Eddie Van Halen dies, but I just sat there and I was totally tripped out. I was in the middle of doing some paperwork that I'd been putting off, and I just moved it all aside. I cranked up Van Halen, and later on, one of my best friends from childhood, Scotty, who doesn't really call that much, he called me, and he's a grown man, and this is what he said when I answered. He goes, "Finn, fucking Eddie died," and he was crying.
Oh yeah,
and I never heard him cry in my life. And it really, artists can affect you like that, because I realized Eddie, even though I never knew the guy, he was one of my best buddies. I listen to Van Halen today. Yeah, you know what I mean. They're just a big part of my life, and I think I always felt some kind of kinship with certain artists, and it's amazing how that stuff can affect you, man. That's why it's two stage hands and a microphone, right? With Sean Finnegan, Disco Britlick.
Yes, I like that.
And thank you. No, thank you. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I think it's time to bring up the whistles. Are these gonna be every time?
We were supposed to.
We're gonna start it with whistle. Let's stay consistent. Let's end with the whistle. That's we should really learn. It's so we don't lose followers doing our terrible thing. We should do like a sign out signature sound. We gotta develop it.
See if you're digging the vibe, like and subscribe, support your backstage team. To get down with the pros working in the shadows, it's disco and the scene.
We need some work. And that's why it's two stage hands and a microphone. With Sean Finnegan, Disco Britlick.
With music produced by Mike Favero.
Original four members. It actually seen.
Who are the original four members? Because I know you know.
Ozzy Osbourne on vocals, Geezer Butler on bass.
Yes.
Tony Iommi on guitar, known as the godfather of heavy metal. And the most underrated drummer in the history of rock and roll, Bill Ward. Black Sabbath. Know them, live them.
Love them. Here is Sean and I.
Two stage hands.
And a microphone.
I don't think we have a microphone, actually.
Not here.
What the hell is this? It's two stage hands.
And a large piece of truss. Yeah, absolutely. Heavy-ass piece of shit.
Heavy stuff.
Exactly.